Hi everybody, it's Tammy from Winky World Adventures, and I'm here in Florida enjoying this beautiful day. The sun is shining and it's like 82 degrees. It's just gorgeous outside. And so we're here in the park, and I thought, hey, I should make a series of videos for people that are thinking about possibly moving to Florida so that you kind of have an idea as to the steps that are involved. Because it is a process, and we're still going through the process. It takes time, and it takes a lot of paperwork sometimes, and just completing things. As you probably know, if you've ever moved anywhere before, there are things that need to happen before you can really officially be considered a resident somewhere. So we're still in the middle of that, but I wanted to talk a little bit today about the first step. Step number one is that you need to have an address in Florida. You need to establish an address. Now, you could obviously buy a house here. If you wanted to purchase a home, rent something, you could rent an apartment, or you could buy a mobile home in a mobile home park. You could do like we did and find an RV that's tied down and in an RV park. That's considered an official residence, and we have our own address and everything. So those are some options. But let's say maybe you don't want to live here. Maybe you want to be a full-time RVer. A lot of people are choosing to do that right now, but you still want to have Florida as your official state of residence. With that, what you would do is use a mail forwarding address. There's companies that you can use to forward your mail to you wherever you are. Escapees RV Club is one of them that is most familiar to people, but there are a lot of others. If you Google mail forwarding service, you'll get a bunch and read the reviews. But what they do is they actually give you an address in Florida or whatever state you pick, and you can use that address to set up your domicile, what's considered your official domicile. And then they will forward your mail wherever you are. So it works really well. And you don't have to really necessarily live in Florida. They don't have a requirement here in Florida that you live here a certain number of days like a lot of states do. So that works out well. You can still get all the perks like no state income tax, and some of those kind of things. It's great for homeschoolers and what have you. And if you're on the road a lot, like you are a full-time RVer, it works great because you can still obviously, register your cars here, get your driver's license here, vote in Florida, but you don't have to live here. However, you would want to check with your other state if you're living in a state for a certain number of months out of the year, to see if they have a requirement that you live there a certain number of months. Let's say you have to live there, say 6 months or something. You would want to know that ahead of time, because it might impact your income tax situation and what have you. So check your local and state laws to see, what the requirements there would be. But in terms of living in Florida, there is no such law that I know of anyway. If I'm wrong, please let me know, but that's what I have been told. And so that's why so many full-time RVers choose Florida as their state of domicile. Another popular one is Texas and South Dakota, obviously because of the income tax piece there with the no state taxes as well. But let's say, okay, you decided on Florida, you want to have your address. So you apply to Escapees Club and you get your address. The next step would be to start getting mail at that address, because you will need a couple pieces of mail to prove that you're using that as your address. You have to have those when you go to get your driver's license and stuff, which I'll get into that in a later video. But you'll want to start forwarding, like get your bank statements changed over, any credit cards, things like that. Eventually auto insurance, health insurance. Once you start getting those pieces of mail sent to that address that you've set up in Florida, then that's proof. That's proof that you are wanting to declare Florida as your domicile. So I will get into health insurance and auto insurance in other videos in this series. But for today, I just wanted to talk about, step one, which is getting that address, because you will need that before you can get auto insurance. You'll need some kind of Florida address. You'll need that before you go to get your driver's license. So anyway, and that's what we did. We bought our place last April, and it was easy because they gave us an address right away. So I started changing everything over the summer, which made that easy. Now with the insurance stuff, I've just recently started changing all that over. But since we did have an electric bill here over the summer, we can use that as one of our pieces that we're going to need for our driver's license and what have you, which again, I'll get into that later. But you need to have that address set up before you can actually officially become a resident. So let me know if you have any questions. You can write in the comments below, or if you have any thoughts about that. Maybe you live in Florida and you have some thoughts about different mail forwarding services, or if you're on the road as an RVer, if you've used one and like it, please let us know. And I hope you're having a great day, and I hope it's nice like this wherever you are, or that you're enjoying being outside, doing something, and just taking in some beautiful scenery. I know there's some beautiful fall colors up north too, so maybe some of you are enjoying the fall colors. Anyway, take care and God bless.